With Natarajan, an expert tracker, I've come here to look for a very special animal. It's shy and elusive. Our search takes us deep into the heart of the forest. This is a secret, hidden world. You never know what might be watching you. Hoping for an answer, Natarajan mimics our quarry's call. And there they are, the lions of the trees, the lion-tailed macaques. You can see how they got their name. Not just a tufted tail, but a lion's mane too. They're one of the rarest of all monkeys. They're found only here, in southern India's monsoon forests. Unlike other macaques, they can't digest leaves. They live on ripe fruit, seeds and insects, with the occasional bird's egg, nestling or squirrel. That limits them to the finest tracts of wet forest, where food is available all year round. There are 5,000 kinds of flowering plant in these forests, but even so, fruit like the spiny collenia is always widely scattered, so it takes a lot of forest to support a few lion-tailed macaques. They live in small mobile groups, just one male with several females and young, much smaller than the troops of other macaques. Females don't give birth until they are more than 6 years old. They only have an infant every 3 years, and perhaps only 4 in a lifetime. There are probably less than 4,000 lion-tailed macaques left. Over the last 2 centuries, the wet forest of the Western Ghats has been decimated by human populations, cut for firewood, cleared for plantations, exploited by dams, and hunted. The little forest that remains is protected, but it may be too late for the macaques. Wet forest once covered almost the entire subcontinent, a green pathway for the spread of animals from other lands. But changes in climate and more recently, human influence now restrict it to Sri Lanka, the Western Ghats, and northeast India. When an island India drifted across an ancient sea to collide with Asia, the first impact was in the east. Gibbons are one legacy of that collision. India's only ape came to us from Southeast Asia, though it reached no further than the northeast. They're sometimes called singing apes. Every morning, the forest echoes to their calls. They're the acrobats of the trees. A gibbon in full swing is the fastest flightless animal in the canopy. Life for the gibbon centers round the sunlit treetops. "40 meters down, there's another world. In the shadowy depths of the forest floor, there's not much vegetation, so it's easy walking for elephants. When rainforests stretched unbroken across the length and breadth of India, elephants spread throughout the subcontinent. Today, the greatest numbers are in the northeast and the forests of the western Ghats. The drier, fragmented forests in between support only scattered remnants. A king cobra basks in the sun. Its bite could kill a baby elephant. This venomous reptile reached India by the same northeast passage as the gibbons, but it spread right to the southern tip of the country. King cobras are the largest of our poisonous snakes. They can grow to 5 meters, big enough to stand up and look you in the eye. Cobras kill thousands of people every year, yet they're one of our most venerated animals. Naga, the snake god, is rivaled in our esteem only by Lord Ganesh, the elephant god. For us, much of the natural world is divine. These wet monsoon forests are a paradise for creatures that slither, crawl, and hop. Of India's 205 species of amphibian, 120 are found in the forests of the Western Ghats, and new ones are still waiting to be discovered. This flying frog's another eastern import. You never know what you're going to find here. Water is the key to the infinite variety of these forests. Moisture brings stability and the chance to specialize into ever narrower niches and ways of life. This can lead to an arms race, colors more startling or subtle, to warn, camouflage, and deceive. But even the best camouflage doesn't always work. With the deadly aim of an archer, a chameleon shoots its victim with sticky tongue. If the slow and deliberate chameleon is the tortoise of the trees, then this is the hare, but it's a hare with a difference. Flying lizards, the males flash to attract females, or perhaps intimidate other males. They can glide as much as 35 meters. It would take a chameleon all day to cover that distance. At this pace, it won't frighten its quarry. Armed with only a cool head and a firm grip, another insect hunter pursues his prey. Smoldering leaves are his only weapon in this dangerous hunt. No high-tech climbing equipment, just wooden pegs. It makes me go weak at the knees just to watch. A single slip could kill. It's 40 meters to the ground. This is an ancient skill handed down from father to son over countless generations. Forest people like this were among the first wave of immigrants to populate the subcontinent. That's what he's after, a wild bee's nest. The smoke will help to stupefy the bees. And this is what it's all about, honey. He only takes part of the honeycomb, leaving the rest for the bees. If he doesn't destroy the colony, he can come back again and again. For the people of the forest, this is liquid gold. great pied hornbills. They are as big as swans. These magnificent birds are fruit eaters. They relish figs, which make up most of their diet. Malabar grey hornbills, found only in these South Indian forests. They're much smaller than the great pied, and they find the figs more of a challenge. Fig trees fruit throughout the year, so there's always one fruiting somewhere in the forest. That makes them the most vital of all trees, a mecca for wildlife. Blossom-headed parakeets, green pigeons, tree pies, and exquisite fairy bluebirds. And not just birds, mammals too. There's a greater density of fig trees in these forests than anywhere else in the subcontinent. So many creatures depend on them for survival. Fig trees are truly trees of life. Nilgiri langurs, unique to these forests. They're mainly leaf eaters, but they take figs too. And Malabar giant squirrels, they're related to the Malayan giant squirrel that spread into India from the northeast. They've been isolated here so long that they've become distinct. Another monkey, the bonnet macaque, yet more mouths to join the fig feast. There's a glut of food, but it won't last long. In just a few days, the tree will be stripped. Bonnet macaques are choosy feeders. The fig must be just right. What they reject, others accept. A lion-tail macaque is equally selective. The wild boar welcomes whatever falls from the high table. Rejected or dislodged, there's a constant rain of figs from above. A barking deer joins the feast, and that attracts something else. For a leopard, a deer, pig or monkey distracted by figs could be easy prey. It may tread softly, but it's been spotted. Figs have certain well-known properties, and they work fast. As the hornbills fly, they scatter fig seeds far and wide. Most will come to nothing, but a few will germinate and grow. Figs need hornbills just as much as hornbills need figs. This is a strangling fig. It starts its life high in the branches of another tree. A seed falls from above, lodges in the bark, and germinates. As it grows, it sends down strange aerial roots. Once they reach the ground, the strangler grows fast. The roots grow thick and strong, clasping the host in a deadly embrace. Little by little, the host tree is starved of light and nutrients until it dies. All fig trees have an unbelievably fragile and delicate foundation. They are totally dependent on a creature scarcely visible to the naked eye, a wasp. Most of its short life is spent inside a fig. The wingless brown males hatch first. They are followed by the black females. These do have wings, for they must fly to another fig tree to lay their eggs. They are dragged from their pupae by males desperate to mate in the few hours of life allotted to them. Before she leaves, each female fills a special pocket with pollen. This will fertilize the developing fig where she lays her eggs. The males have one last task. They bite a hole in the fig to release the females, and then they die. The females depart with their precious cargo of pollen. Guided perhaps by scent, they set off on an epic journey to find another fig tree of the same species. And that's a story in itself. Each of the 900 kinds of fig has its very own pollinating wasp. From such tiny beginnings grow huge trees like this. Surely one of the most remarkable partnerships between plants and animals. Fig trees give food and shelter to all kinds of creatures, even tigers. And they are very special for people too. This may look like a forest, but I'm standing under the shade of one tree. It's the largest banyan tree in the world. It's a sacred tree, but it's so large, it's almost like a sacred grove. From all over India, pilgrims flock to this holy tree. It's so vast, it would cover 5 football pitches. Fig trees like the banyan and peepal are worshipped throughout India. They've been revered over thousands of years. The Buddha achieved enlightenment under a peepal tree. The Hindus regard them as the abode of their gods. Even the leaves are looked upon as deities. If by mistake you pick up a leaf from here and take it home, you've got to post it back rapidly. Otherwise you attract the fury of the gods. This incredible tree is like a living open-air cathedral. People even come here to get married. It bursts with life and ritual, yet I feel silenced. The object of all this reverence has seen 5 centuries of history, and all because of a tiny wasp. Figs are indeed very special trees, truly the linchpins of the forest. The strangler may not be holy, but it's still a gathering place for animals. This scaffold of roots enclose the space where the host tree once stood. Its trunk has long since rotted away. A ready-made climbing frame for playful lion-tail macaques. The lattice work of stems harbors plenty of insects, even the occasional bird's nest. It all helps to supplement a diet of figs. Food and shelter, somewhere to play and relax. What more could a tree offer? In the highest reaches of the Western Ghats, cloud-touched peaks rise above the forest. These grassy islands in a sea of trees have their own unique animals. Nilgiri Thar. Their ancestors came from the distant Himalayas, where other Thar still live. Some call them cloud goats. The hills rise to over 2,500 meters. Clouds condense and cool around their peaks, watering the forest below with 10 meters of rain a year. I'm in the land of the cloud goats, and we are both getting soaked in the rain. We are at one of the highest points in southern India, and there's nothing higher between us and the Himalayas. The clouds are sweeping in from the southwest, and slowly they will envelop the entire Indian subcontinent. They are the harbingers of the Indian monsoon, and this is where they make their landfall. India's highest waterfall thunders from these rain-drenched heights. The hill forests of southern India receive a double dose of the monsoon. It rains here for 6 months of the year. Everything gets drenched. But that is a small price to pay for the benefits. There's enough rain for the forest to stay green throughout the year. South across the sea from India lies the island of Sri Lanka. Its Sinharaja forest thrives on high and constant rainfall. There are more unique species here than anywhere else on the subcontinent. Hump-nosed lizards. Males assume their emerald hues to intimidate other males. This drab male is a clear loser. More living jewels, tiny jumping spiders. Sinharaja has dozens of different kinds, most found only here. Close to the equator, constant warmth and wetness provide the stability that encourages diversity. Courting spiders semaphore their amorous intentions. Each species has its own unique signals. The variety seems endless. This extraordinary creature is a spider, but it's pretending to be an ant. Perhaps it's safer in disguise. Like samurai warriors, males circle and spar. Not a Halloween mask, but a caterpillar. If you look startling, you stand a good chance of not being eaten. Large eyes are only bluff, but bright colors can signal genuine nastiness. Hairs and spines are another deterrent. These weaver ants will eat a soft-bodied caterpillar alive if they can get past its bristly defenses. The spines are poisonous. They can cripple anything they pierce, and the caterpillar even has a shield over its vulnerable head. The ants have given up, but despite their defenses, the caterpillars are still at risk. A grey hornbill has its own way of dealing with those spines. A thorough thrashing on a branch, and the caterpillar is stripped of its defenses. Now it can be swallowed safely. Bird-wing butterflies and caterpillars are toxic and wouldn't be on the menu of the grey hornbills. Once it's ready to pupate, the caterpillar spins a silken thread around its body and attaches itself to a twig. Pupation occurs within 2 days. The adult birdwing emerges after 25 days and takes only a few minutes to emerge from the chrysalis. Once it has emerged, the butterfly spends an hour or so drying its wings. The Indian birdwing is the biggest butterfly in India, and the larger females have a wingspan of over 7 inches. This is the largest tree-borne fruit in the world, the jackfruit. Each fruit can grow to a length of 1 meter and weigh 80 pounds. Here, this Nilgiri langur samples it with gusto. A bonnet macaque scoops out the fruit's mushy insides. This jackfruit weighs 10 times more than this baby macaque. This infant will have to grow a bit before it can open one of these for himself. The palm squirrel is an opportunist. He makes the most of fruits that have already been opened by other animals. All of these animals know to anticipate the bounty of the jackfruit during and after the monsoons. This is a jackfruit feast. Gore, the biggest cows in the world. These massive wild ox thrive in our monsoon forests. It's the rutting season. Each bull brings a ton of rippling muscle to the contest. Rivals flaunt their strength and size one another up. Gore may be formidable, but tigers do sometimes attack them, even the fully grown bulls. This tiger won't be eating gore today, but I've been to some forests where gore are on the top of the tiger menu. I hope one day I get a chance to watch tiger attacking gore. The cows will go to any lengths to protect their calves and see the tiger off. The land of the tiger is also the land of the elephant. Elephants need even more living space. And perhaps more than any other animal, they epitomize the problems and paradoxes of our relationship with the wild. A 100 years ago, this was forest, elephant habitat. The British taste for tea changed all that. Huge areas were cleared to satisfy an alien thirst. But elephants still live in the scattered forests that remain. They don't eat tea, but they often use the tea plantations as pathways from one patch of forest to another. That can bring them into conflict with people. Not just here, but all over India, shrinking forests force them out into the open. Crops are trampled, houses destroyed, people killed. They've even caused panic on the outskirts of Calcutta. In other parts of the world, large animals were killed off. Our solution has been rather different. It's better to catch than kill. We've trained the elephant, harnessed its power to our needs. Elephants are virtually married to their keepers, or mahavats, almost part of the family. They even cook special food for them in elephant-sized helpings. An elephant is much more than a working animal. It's an object of veneration. 500 million people worship Ganesh, the elephant god. In our journey through the land of the tiger, we have seen how closely the lives of man and animal are interlinked. There is nothing more striking than the relationship between the wild-caught elephant and the mahavat. This goes back 5,000 years and is passed down from father to son. In the West, Disney and the Jungle Book may have given you romantic notions of Mowgli and the elephant. The reality is rather different. Elephants have long working lives, but they don't come into their strength until their teens. So working elephants are caught from the wild. We use tame elephants to catch their wild cousins. The art of elephant catching is thousands of years old. There were two ways of catching them: driving whole herds into massive timber stockades or lassoing them. As machines take over our lives, the role of the working elephant has dwindled. Traditional techniques are now used more to catch problem elephants, especially here in the northeast, where huge tracts of forest have vanished forever. They've spotted a young male. The chase is on. In the confusion of the chase, a calf gets separated. He has to get the lasso past the trunk. Incredibly, the captive hardly seems to realize what's happened. He's reassured by the tame elephants alongside. The fear and the pain will come later. It's now that the torture begins. The traditional ways of breaking an elephant are heartbreakingly cruel. It's tied up, spread-eagled for days. Separated from its mother and family, its spirit is crushed. Even though millions worship the elephant god, there are moments like this when it's reduced to servitude. Ironically, this is a land where man and nature have enjoyed a harmony seldom seen anywhere else in the world. Sadly, that relationship is now breaking down, and some of the connections seem fated to be lost forever. The delicate fabric of myth, legend, and religious belief, woven together by centuries of experience and wisdom, is being torn apart. From incredible torture and cruelty, we move to love and worship. That sums up the great paradox that is India: the beauty and the ugliness, the tragedy and the hope. But I wonder whether this will sustain the land of the tiger for the next generation.